Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my layout for the Scrap the Voice challenge for September, which is pretty much over by the time you see this. I do apologize. I was running really behind this month. I didn't actually get a chance to edit and upload this video until the challenge had passed. There will be a new challenge coming tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But I did still want to share this video because, you know, you might still get some inspiration from it, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. I really was really happy with how it turned out. So I have here a kit that I put together from mainly Hip Kit Club stuff. It's very autumn themed, so I'm just taking some papers here and tearing some edges. And I've got the One Canoe 2 Twilight paper pad papers there, and then I think the wood grain stripe is from Simple Stories, a baby collection actually, I think. So I'm just going to layer those up together, and I am going to do some mixed media on that peach large section at the bottom. So I'm just using my tape to line these all up carefully and get them all stacked up. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my mixed media part. So I do quite a bit on this layout. It was a mixed media challenge, so I try to get as much on there as I can. So I am going in just with some gesso and a makeup sponge to begin with, and then I'm just smudging the edges with my finger, like you can see there. So I just want to really add some barrier between the paper and all the mixed media I'm going to add, because I am going to add quite a lot of liquid. It does warp a fair bit, but I've noticed lately if I use a hairdryer on the cool setting rather than a heat gun to dry, that it dries a lot flatter, and I'm having a lot less problems than I did when I dried with my heat gun. So that's just a tip for you. So I'm coming in now with some Distress Oxides. I'm using the Chipped Sapphire, which is a navy color, and I've smushed that onto my messy mat, and then I've added a bit of water to. There you can see I'm adding water. Water activates the Distress Oxides. It changes the texture quite a bit and oxidizes, obviously. But it really changes the whole consistency and appearance of them. And they're really fun to play with when you mix them with water. So I am kind of scribbling it on, and then I have smushed it on with the packaging. And the gesso makes it so that it can move around really easily once I put it on the paper. I also added some splatters of that ink. And now I'm coming in with some acrylic paints. I've used a black and a dark blue, and I've added way too much black at the start, so I'm trying to just make a really dark blue. And added some water to help it flow, I suppose. Acrylic paint's quite thick, so if you want to do like the packaging technique or anything like that, you really need to add a bit of water. So I've done that with the packaging and then added some splatters as well. Now I'm going in with my Liquitex acrylic ink in white, and this is also really fun to play with. You could also use watered down acrylic paint. I'm just splattering that all over the place. And now I'm going to come in with some drips. So I'm just loading up my brush and then kind of pushing my brush against the top edge of the paper and letting it run down the page. So I'm holding it vertically, and then I am kind of tapping it against the desk as well to try and get it to run. Now I'm using a spray mist. I think that's a black one from Kaiser Craft. And then I'll come in with this gold, which is also from Kaiser Craft. And I'm just, like you can see, I'm tapping it at the top of the page to get a drop off the end of the dropper, and then it's just running down kind of naturally. Helps give a random effect. A little bit more white here. This does go on for a while. And then I'll come in with this is a turquoisey teal blue. So I'm only going to add a little bit of that because it is quite a bright color. So I'm just being careful just to add a little drop of that. And then I will add some splatters in the gold. So it looks pretty messy, but once everything else is added on top, it will look really good. Well, I think it looks really good anyway. I really enjoy mixed media. So that is all dried. It is all set. You can see there a little bit of warping. What I'm just doing here is gluing it to the back of just a 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock. Just to really, because I didn't use a full piece of 12 by 12 on the base here, so I'm going to have to line up those torn strips with this piece, and it's kind of hard to do without having a reference piece. So that piece of paper on the back is really just to help me line up these two separate pieces of paper. So there we go. I'm just adding that's just wet tacky glue. I did use my paintbrush to kind of smooth that out. It actually ended up a lot flatter than I was expecting overall, so that's a bonus. just coming in now with my photos. These are 2 photos of my little man, 2016 I think, at a cafe. We were out and about with my nana I think, and we were just having a coffee, and he's having a Babyccino. So if you don't know what a Babyccino is, I don't think they're a thing everywhere in the world, but they're definitely popular here in Australia. So all they are is steamed milk. So like you would make for a latte, they steam the milk and froth the milk and put that in the cup, and then put a little chocolate powder on top. So there's no coffee in there at all. It's just milk and a little bit of chocolate powder, and usually a marshmallow. So they're either free with a coffee, usually in a cafe here, or they cost like $1 or 50 cents or something like that. So they're definitely a really fun treat for the little ones. They always love sitting and having a quote unquote coffee with mum. So I really wanted to document that. It's something we do fairly often, so it's definitely a nice family memory. That chipboard piece is from a Dear Lizzie Thickers set. I'm not sure which collection it's from. I apologise. And then these little thickers, I think they're made by Pink Fresh, but they're a Hip Kit Club exclusive. So I can't tell you what the colour scheme is, but I'm just using these soft baby pink ones to spell out Babyccino. So my title will be Babyccino Love. I'm also using these little clear stickers. I'm just trying to get these used up really. So I'm going to put 3, one at the bottom of the photo, one just underneath this other photo, and then one at the top is kind of like just above my title there. And then I have this little coffee cup mug that says Girl Boss, so I'm going to cover up those words obviously, because they don't make sense for this layout, but I really like the black and white of the coffee cup. It's from a really old planner box. I've just got kind of a box full of embellishments that don't really go with the collection, and that's one of them. I knew I had that tucked away, and I've been saving it for a layout like this, and it was perfect. So I am just tucking in, these are all Hip Kit Club exclusive embellishments that I got with this kit, so I'm just tucking them in around. I really like that little, it's a teacup I suppose, but quite often cappuccinos are served in a little coffee cup like that with a handle, so I'm adding that in. I'm just adding a bunch of autumn themed embellishments because I don't actually have a lot of photos that are clearly autumn themed. I live in the subtropics. We don't have days where like the leaves don't change, nothing like that. So it quite often doesn't look like autumn even when it is. So I am trying to get a bunch of these on because it is kind of like a darker, moodier photo, and he has a long sleeve shirt on. So the weather must have been somewhat cool. So I'm just tucking those in either side of the photo, and then a little cluster at the bottom center of the photos there. Just tucking all those little leaves and acorns and things like that in. I am going to pop in this little flower as well. I just want to trim off that that border. White borders on die cuts, they really bother me sometimes. Okay, last thing, I think this is the last thing I'm going to do is add some of this Glitz Glitter Gel by Gina K through this. It's a chevron pattern stencil, but I'm just going to push it through small sections, so it's just getting that kind of spotty effect. And that will be my layout finish. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check back for the new challenge tomorrow. And until then, close-ups coming up. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.